All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another new exclusive episode of the Reality Kenya. Of course, this is a show where we look at every occurrence and everything that happens in our country as far as our livelihood is concerned. And breaking it down each and every time is the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, Honorable Willis Otieno, PIKI PONKI. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Because we are live from the Learned Corner as usual.
Yes.
And everything is cool this morning.
Yes.
And yesterday we saw the three arms of government had a meeting at State House.
Yes. That was a very inappropriate meeting in my view. To the extent that KOOME is responding to summons by William Ruto.
Yes.
To discuss. Remember when this conversation started?
Yes.
William Ruto had said that there were judges who were being bribed. There were court orders which were being procured using corruption, bribery.
Yes.
And then they met and issued a communique.
Yeah.
Now, bribery is a criminal offense, right?
Yes.
And if there be any judge who has ever received a bribe,
yes,
or has been paid a bribe,
yeah,
and William Ruto and the state are aware of it, a meeting between KOOME and William Ruto and Moses WETANGULA cannot solve that problem. Our constitution and laws already provide what needs to be done to that judge. What needs to be done to that judge is that he has to be taken before the JSC, a petition is filed, a tribunal is formed, and then we inquire into his conduct, whether he is competent to continue serving as a judge. Because without that, then it means that political statement was being made. There was no evidence in support.
Yeah.
But if there was evidence in support, so they are going to tell us that going forward, we have corrupt judges who are still serving in the judiciary, who will be hearing our cases every day, and no action is taken against them. So that meeting, the only thing they should have discussed was the names of those judges and the evidence against them, and when the tribunal or the JSC will be moved to deal with them.
And was a meeting really necessary?
It was not necessary for that. They did not need a meeting to do that. They just needed to file a petition. Draft a petition, give the supporting evidence, and proceed. The same way Gachagua, my competitor, regarding Gachagua, goes ahead and maligns the name of Justice Maina and says, I'm going to file a petition. And now because there's dialogue, I'm not filing the petition anymore. There was never any evidence against Justice Maina. And if he had, we dare him to put it down. Bring forth that evidence. Because if he claims the judge was bribed, that's already an offense.
Yes, claiming that
the judge was bribed means that if the judge was bribed, it's an offense. But if he has no supporting evidence, then he's in contempt of court. Rigathi Gachagua is in contempt of court by maligning the standing of a judicial officer in proceedings that were conducted before that judge without any evidence. So he's in contempt of court, and Gachagua belongs in jail on that question alone, to the extent that the allegation he has made is not supported by any evidence, and he has not moved any law agency or the institutions established by law to probe into the conduct of the good judge.
To prove that whatever was
so we are dealing with the criminals in my view. Those three organs of government are playing around with us.
Yes, because
that meeting was a meeting to undermine our constitution.
Because you see, choosing State House as the common ground for, as the host of the meeting, was seen as, with Kenyans as the executive compromising the other two arms of government to a point that it was more of hosting them for whatever reason they were there.
So that's why I say that conversation was not a conversation about Kenyans. And even the communique speaks for itself. There's nothing that you expect. In fact, as somebody put it, actually now they are announcing that they are renewing the war against corruption. Why can't they tell us what happened to the old war against corruption? Because there has been an ongoing war. Every time we renew the war against corruption. When you are renewing it, you should be telling us what happened to the old one. Then you can renew. But before they tell us what happened to the old one, those are just platitudes. There's nothing. It's just waste of Kenyans' time, waste of public space. But there's something fundamental that I want us to look at also today. You noticed that the IMF report quotes central bank as saying that more than half of the banks in Kenya are now relying on the central bank for liquidity. In other words, there's
circulation
of money, liquidity issues. And it boils down to what we've been saying.
More than half
of the commercial banks locally are now relying heavily on the central bank to support them on liquidity. Now that tells you the state of the economy. You know, these are the things that progressively, when you start seeing them happening, you can tell that the economy, the strain is now giving in. Liquidity becomes a problem. The shilling keeps depreciating every day. You know, today we are at 166.
Yes. Approaching 170.
Last week we were at 155. We are now at 156. 166.
Over 11 units.
Over 11 units lost. And we are heading to 170. My projection will be at 200 by August. If nothing is done. If nothing is done to stem this collapse, we are going to hit 200 by August this year. Now, remember what we had said also before. Every time the shilling loses value by a unit, our debt book add 40 billion Kenya shillings. Now you can imagine anybody who's been tracing, how much have we added on our debts?
Even within the previous one.
Just in the last 1 week, how much debt? If it is 40 billion, if it was 160 last week,
now it's
166. So 40 billion
by 6 units.
Times 6.
Within 1 week.
Within 1 week. That is 240 billion Kenya shillings. Just by currency fluctuations alone. Now, our economy is straining, and Kenya Kwanza has no response to this economic strain. They cannot deal with it. The banks are feeling the strain. They are actually collapsing under the weight of a failed economic policy. That is the unfortunate bit about this country. And the sooner we deal with this, the better. Without that, our problem is the economy, and we will suffer.
Can you talk to Kenyans one last time about how everything goes?
The main thing that Kenyans need to appreciate is that we must put our focus on the economy, and we must interrogate everything Kenya Kwanza is saying about the economy, or else this country is going to face a serious challenge. This year is going to be a tough year on the economy, and whatever is happening may lead us to a revolution, in my view.
Thank you so much, Naibu. Have a blessed week, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Everyone who's been watching, thank you so much. Until next time, bye-bye.